Maybe. No. Phooey balooey. We got 2 minutes to make this work. Let me think here. We are live. All right. Oh, phew. All right, ladies and gentlemen, here we are. And I think I did, yeah. Yeah, it created a new one. Let's do this. And this is going to take a second here. I'm running out of time. Major time. So we'll go like that. And we'll go like that. And we'll go like that. And then we're going to... Yeah. The delay got me. The delay got me. Crazy. We're going to approve that. And then we're going to go there. We got a minute. So let's go ahead and go live on AMS. And then we're going to remove that. All right, perfect. All right, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, geeks of all ages, how you doing? All right, that looks good. We're going to pause that. That looks good. We're going to pause that. That looks like we're good to go and how we're sounding. We're going to leave that like that. But the chat, what is going on with Amazon's chat? Ugh, hate it when that happens. Hello. Unmute. And ask questions here. Boom. There we go. All right. For some reason, the chat's not coming up, so I'll try and keep an eye on that over there. But definitely over here, we'll go. Oh, we're at 0, so let's go ahead. There we go. I think we got everything. Everything's good to go. Let's get going. Let's do this. Let's make this rock. What's up, my geeks? Jeffrey Powers here from Geekazine, Think Magazine, Put in a Geek, and you've got me. And of course, all the socials showing up right there. You can definitely find me everywhere and anywhere, including over at Amazon, over at amazon.com/shop/Geekazine. That's where you're going to find this product right here, and that is the ATEN StreamLIve HD. It is an HD switcher, excuse me, camera switcher, so you can work and kind of do like what I'm doing with all these little scenes that I'm switching back and forth to, having fun going from there, and just kind of make your own show. If you're an educator, this is perfect for teaching because you'll be able to set up a camera and then like a computer screen and then be able to teach on there. If you're looking to do anything, you know, if you're a gamer, if you're an educator, if you're a musician, if you're a, I don't know, window washer, people want to watch window washing, set this up so you can do it from there. So, first of all, got to tell you, hey, you know, we get product in here all the time from the companies, and that is the case here. ATEN has sent us the StreamLive HD to take a look at. No sponsorship is being done for this, and all opinions are of my own. They have absolutely no say in what I say, and of course, my opinions are very open. So if there's something I don't like, I'll let you guys know. But I do have a review section over on Geekazine that tells you all the criteria that I set up for when I do a review, and you can check that all out. Now, that's been said and done. Got to tell you, over at the amazon.com/shop/Geekazine, that's where you're going to find all the cool stuff. If I hit this refresh on this page, you're going to see, la-da-da-ding, there we are. There's the live stream right there on top. Then, of course, some photos and then some video that I've already taken We've got some cool stuff from Hdmi Study X, the Roll and Go Livecast, which is another switcher, Movo UM700, which is a great microphone, and a bunch more. You can just slide through and look at all those videos. And then, of course, everything down here is all links that you can go to check that all out. And that's over at amazon.com/shop/Geekazine. Now, let's switch over here. I'm going to hit this refresh button to make sure. Yeah. Okay, I think everything's good there. All right, there we go. This is what we're talking about today. This is the ATEN, ATEN StreamLIVE HD. What is this? Well, it's a multi-switcher. It allows you to create scenes. It allows you to create shots. So if I'm doing a one-on-one video, if I'm doing a video like this, or I'm working on my live streams, I'm working on my recordings or whatnot, I can set this up. It's portable, so you can put it in your bag and be on the go, so less gear to carry around, couple cameras, a couple laptops, and this thing, and you might be good to go from there. So that's what this is all about, and there are two versions. There we go. There are two versions of this. You have the 9020, which is this one, the StreamLive HD, and then you have the StreamLive Pro. Now, from what I've read, what I've seen, the only difference between the two is it's got one extra input, HDMI input. So if you're doing a one-on-one camera interview, you might be able to do 3 cameras plus maybe a fourth one to bring in a web page or anything like that. So, and that's what we're going to explore with this unboxing, to see how it looks and what comes with it and how we can do this. Now, this is also an iPad device, which means you need to have an iPad with it. We do have our iPad. In fact, I've got the iPad right over here, and it's all set up and ready to go. As you can see, the software is now loaded. This is the software we're going to use to do the switching back and forth on here. And of course, we're going to try and answer as many questions as we can. We've got a couple questions. Data goes hello, and then going not able to donate to you through the donation link. Sorry about that. We'll take a look at that, and I'll get back to you on that. So right now, I won't be able to do that, unfortunately. So, but thank you very much. Thank you very much. So, all right, ladies and gentlemen, once again, we'll talk a little bit about the specs of this thing right here. It is a we'll go like that. There we go. We got an interface of a 4K, up to a 4K, 60 frames a second input, HDMI Type A, and 2 HDMI Type A females. So the first one can go up to 4K, but the other ones will be 1080p, 60 frames a second. We have a loop through HDMI and a program HDMI out by Type A through the female. This does video sampling of 4x2x2, 8-bit, and the color space is 4x2x2, also YUV there. So we have different video resolutions. You can go VGA from VGA 640 by 480 all the way up to 2160, 60 frames a second. So not quite. It is, but it isn't 4K. It's but 2160. You can have a pretty good resolution, 60 frames a second. If you're doing any type of sports stuff, this is perfect. If you're doing any type of gaming, that's perfect resolution. So you'll be able to see what's going on in the game without a bunch of stutter and things like that. It also has an HDMI loop out there, so you can actually see what's going on. We'll be hooking that up so we can see there. And then, of course, audio. It looks like we can hook up a audio device, a mixing board, or we can something smaller from there. And we'll take a look at that as we go and unbox this. So with that said, with that done, let's go ahead and get this all unboxed here. So we'll go to the overhead here. We got an HDMI cable here, which I'll set over here for now. Get this out of the way. All right, let's bring this down. Open this up. Bring this down. And see how this slides out. Do we have... I'm just looking to see how it slides out before I start doing some major sliding. Actually, it does get some parts here, so we'll just tip this up like this. And we'll pull out the first thing. This is a long box. And within this long box, let's go over here. Within this long box, we have, there we go. Open that up. We have some cables. Looks like we got a power cable here. We've got a USB A to A, looks like USB 2.0 A to A right here. We then have a USB-C to USB-A, and that, of course, that is a 3.0 cable. I can tell because the USB-A is blue, whereas these were white. That's usually indicating of a USB 2.0 cable. So we have that. And we have that, and let's see, is there anything else in this small box? Nope. So let's go ahead and get rid of the box. There we go. Let's continue on here. Inside, we have some foam. So we'll set this to the side. Now we'll set this down like this, and we will gently slide this out. Maybe go to this camera here. Yeah, there we go. And there's the main unit. We also have some instructions right there. And then, of course, the main box, which we can set right here. A couple pieces of foam. We'll put the foam back into the box. And then we'll go down a little bit. There we go. We'll take the protective foam off. It looks like a little tape down there. There we go. And then we'll pull this unit out. Silica gel pops out. There we go. And there it is, the ATEN UC9020 StreamLIve HD, which is perfect for your streaming. Let's go ahead and get this box. And as we do with all our boxes, because we're done with said boxes, it's time to say goodbye. That was a big box. I shouldn't have done that. Anyway, we didn't hurt anything, so that's good. So what we have here is the instruction manual, and actually a couple manuals. So we have instructions. This one is the multi-channel AV mixer quick start guide right here. And then this is a warranty card with some cool stuff on here in multiple languages. And then, of course, the StreamLIve HD multi-channel AV mixer user manual to use with your manual. So this will tell you everything about this right here. So we'll set this all over here. Bag can go down there. Cords right there. And there we go. We'll zoom in on this and we'll take a look. Now, first of all, we got a little spot right here up on top. And this is usually where the iPad will go. It looks like this does not expand, so that means that if you have an iPad case attached to your iPad, I don't think that'll fit in there. So I'll probably be putting my iPad to the side. But that's one thing I've noticed with a lot of different devices, and that includes iPad attachments for mounting to stands and stuff like that, is they don't account for cases. And I think we need to start thinking about that, accounting for cases, because I want to have a nice padded case on my iPad, so if I drop it, I'm not smashing the screen. I'm just saying. So, but anyway, if you want to, I think you can also use your phone. But once again, it has to be out of the case. This is pretty thin. In fact, if I got my phone, yeah, look at that. It doesn't even fit. And I got this simple Spark case for the phone, and it doesn't fit from there. So that's an open suggestion out to any manufacturer out there that's making something for iPad and iPhone for that matter. A lot of people still put a case on their device, and it'd be nice if we don't have to take the case off to put it in here. So I definitely won't be using that part, but that's okay. That's okay. Let's move on. This is it. It's a nice metal construction. I don't feel any plastic on the bottom. Feels like a heat sink. Yeah, and as you can see with the pattern, this is definitely going to do some heat dispersion right here. I don't see any place for vents. I don't want to say that this is enclosed or anything like that. So it might not be weatherproof. So if it starts to rain on your parade that you're streaming or whatever, you might want to have something to cover it with. So, all right, so let's take a closer look at this, and we're going to zoom in even more so we can really see it. So we'll start, maybe too much there. Let's bring it back up. So we'll start with all the buttons here. We have it kind of looks like a panel, like you would have for any type of production streaming. If you went into a studio or something like that, you would probably see this little thing right here with all these sliders and everything like that. We got the auto transition, and this thing right here, I'll just slide to the right and out a little bit more. This thing right here, it's not very smooth. It definitely takes a little bit of pressure to get it up and down, and I can kind of hear it go tick, tick, tick as it's moving back and forth. So some production people would want to have a smoother feel to that, and that's what I'm not feeling. We also have an auto button and a cut button. This would just go from one, like I'm doing right here, cut 1, cut 2, cut 1, cut 2, back to PTZ. And then the auto button, that's what I forgot to, no, I didn't. I did set that up. Never mind. So we have the cut and the auto button. We have 8 different scenes. Now you're saying, but we only have 3 cameras. Why do we need 8 scenes? Well, that's the cool thing about this, is with this, you can set up each camera as its own, but then you can set up scenes that have different things to it. Like, for instance, a lower third or a graphic. As you saw in the screen right here, you're seeing some, what do we got? Scenes, free text, creative overlay, picture-in-picture, and all that. And we can build those with the app and then bring them in here and then assign buttons to them. And when we assign the buttons to this thing, then we can work from there. So 5 could be, this could be scene 1, this could be scene 2, this could be scene 3, scene 4, scene 5, scene 6, scene 7, scene 8. Probably not, because I have more than 3 cameras hooked up to this thing. And yes, you got to consider a computer screen as a camera in this case. So, all right, let's get back into figuring all this out. So we have the 8 buttons. Up on top, we have what's called the Src Program, and we'll get into that later. We got the streaming buttons, so we could hit the button to go live and hit the button to pause on there. Over here on the right side, these look, and all these will light. Like, for instance, if I'm on scene 1 and I press 1, 1 will probably light red. And I don't think they have a setup, but we'll figure that out as we go. On the right here, we have, let's zoom in over here because it's harder to see these buttons. There we go. Over here, we have a mic button. We have RL. I'm guessing if this is for stereo or mono, but we'll find out as we go. AFV buttons for HDMI 1 and HDMI 2. I know what those mean, but I can't think of it right now. AFV, yeah. Anyway, we have the HDMI 1 and HDMI 2 buttons, so the 2 cameras here. Program and mute for audio. Oh, I know. So basically, you can bring in a microphone on its own, or you can bring in the audio from the HDMI cameras. So I could, to circumvent the audio from here, I could probably have one camera set up with the audio and then bring it through here, and then audio on a second camera. So if they're in like different rooms or anything like that, this would be perfect, because then you can kind of cut one off and turn the other one up for audio. So, and then of course we got the program and the mute buttons, and then a big dial up on, you can't see the big dial. Whoops, went too far. What the heck? There we go. And a big dial on top. It's just a dial, doesn't push in or anything like that. So, but that's probably for volume, and it's a forever dial, so there's not you can just keep turning that, turn, and you can hear it turn as well. So looking at the front of this thing, let's zoom out just a skosh so we can see this whole thing. You can kind of see the heat sink that I was talking about down here. So, and actually I think this is the vent, because there's a little bump right here, and then there's the heat sink. So I'm guessing this might be the vent. So hot air will definitely be blowing towards your wrists. Keep that in mind. But we'll double check to make absolutely sure once we have this all plugged in. Turning this to the right side of the unit, we have a headphone jack so you can hear what's going on. And then this is the link to your iPad. This does not work with Android. They do not have an Android app. This does not work with PC or Mac, as in the switcher. So that could change down the road. But right now it's only iPad. And it works well on the iPad Pro M1, because that's what I'm using. So, all right, let's zoom in. Let's see the individual spots here. There we go. First one, we have the Src Program Output. So basically what happens is how you are sending this out. We will be plugging this in, and you'll actually be seeing, it's actually going to be the scene where we have right now with the iPad. We'll be switching that out once we get this set up, and then you'll see it from there. Excuse me. We have a loop out. HDMI, we have your input right here and loop out. Well, loop out, you can take that to another monitor, and then you can see what's going on. Same thing with HDMI 2. You have the loop out. No, wait, I guess you don't have. These are the 1080p videos. So HDMI 2, you can do 2 inputs here. So I'm not sure how that works, but you can just yet. So let's move on. We've got an Ethernet jack. There is no, as far as I know, there is no Wi-Fi on this. It is all straight up Ethernet. So if you want to counter that, you can get yourself, I just had it here. I was talking about this the other day. Get something like this. This is the GL iNet Slate, which is a really nice little router. And then you can plug that in, and then you can use it kind of wireless that way. So I'll put that in some of the notes so you know where that is. So, all right, come back here. Let that refocus. Come back. Hello. It's not refocusing. There we go. All right, so you can put your 2 other HDMI inputs in there. Ethernet, USB. It is once again the blue port. So I'm thinking USB 3, but I'm not exactly sure. It didn't say in the specifications. We'll find out. And then 2 ways to connect up. We can bring in line in from a mixer, or if we've got a standard dynamic microphone, we could plug it in here. Now keep in mind, if you're doing that, you want to have a dynamic microphone, something that doesn't take 48 volts. And then of course the adapter that turns it into 1/4 inch. So it's an unbalanced, I believe it's an unbalanced microphone. So if you're just if you're doing simple announcements or whatnot, you can hook up the microphone. It shouldn't be a problem. From there, over here, that's the power. And of course, standard G-type plug, computer-type plug, if you want to think of it that way. So those are in the back. And on the side right here, we have one thing, and this is, I believe, a Kensington lock right here. So you can put this down on a table, put the lock around it, and that way nobody's going to thieve it. Let's take a look at the bottom since we're here. We'll zoom out a little bit. Nothing much to show on the bottom. Like I said, it's a nice ribbed bottom, and that's usually indicates heat sink. So this will probably get hot. I don't know how hot it will get after a while of production. This whole bottom piece is one part. So I would guess that right here will get hot, and down here will get hot, and go from there. So we got all our other important stuff like serial numbers and stuff like that on the bottom here. Kind of, you flip it around, it does look a little bit like an old gaming system, right? Like an old Atari or Odyssey. Pretty cool, huh? All right. With that said, with that done, that is the unit. Weight, geez, I would say that this thing, about 10 pounds. I'd have to see. I didn't see anything on the specs. Let's just make sure. I'll take a quick look. Operating temperature will be about 0 to 40 Celsius. So that means that it will get up to about 110 Fahrenheit, and we'll test that out. We'll grab the gun, the heat gun, and make sure that, because 110 will feel hot to the touch, but it shouldn't burn you at that point. So, and that's of course if it's running at full speed. They could have made it cooler by actually taking out this this power unit and actually using a regular plug with a wall wart, because then the power would be separate from there and probably would have knocked it down at least 10 degrees, I would guess. So dimensions are 28 by 80, 2885 by 1899, actually inches, 11.3 inches by 7.8 inches, and then about 3.8 inches high. So if you're getting a case for it, you're going to need a nice, you get a nice Pelican case to set this into. Weight is 4.16 pounds, so just shy of 5 pounds. But it is rather bulky, rather heavy, so if you set it down, you use it, it's not going to slide around, as you can see, especially with the rubber feet. I'm just tapping it like that. No problem. It's pretty much staying in place on a regular type of table. So let's see. And they are saying for some of the rack mount products, please note the standard physical dimensions. I think that there are versions, because ATEN makes more than just these two items. They make a lot of USB stuff and a lot of stuff for businesses and education. So that's where this was focused on, was getting the educator onto a live stream. So they probably have other things like additional rack mount stuff that you can use. Kenny's going, hey Jeffrey, hey Kenny, how you doing? It's a wonderful day, right? It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood. I still don't have my main chat going, so. All right, let's move on from here. I think we got all the dimensions on this thing, and we think we got everything. Now it's time to actually hook this up. So we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna come back here. We're gonna zoom this out a little bit. Kenny's going, it's a hot day. Yeah, it is a hot day. By the way, that USB that's in the back here, that's actually for the drive, and we do have a drive set up ready to go, which we'll be plugging in. That's the Kingston HyperX SSD drive, which I use for a lot of my mobile stuff. In fact, when I was getting this all ready, I found it. It's been kind of sitting there. I forgot about it for a while, so hopefully I don't have to do any type of formatting to it, because I don't know what's on the drive. But it's also a drive that if I did erase it, it was meant to be. It works that way. So, all right, enough blah de blah. Let's go ahead and hookity up. So we're gonna hook up this plug here. Try and get it so it's out of the way, so it doesn't look. So we got a nice clean look. And we will plug this in. There we go. And then I've got an Ethernet cable right here, which I am going, oh, and look at that. It's lighting up, and it's going through the green light. I don't know if you can see that, but the green light is going through like a cycle or something like that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Maybe the overhead will show it better. No, what about this camera? These lights are pretty bright, and it's interesting because, and I'm hoping there's going to be a way to dim these LEDs, because usually, a lot of the times, a lot of heat comes from these LED lights. That's kind of crazy that way. But anyway, so we have this, and of course, there we go. So now we've got a red and a green. So we have a live and a preview. Usually green, I don't know if you can see that. Usually green means preview, and red means live. Let me change the look of. Go back to manual. There we go. Now you'll kind of see the green. You'll definitely see the red. It looks orange to you for some reason. Let's do that. Nope, that's not going to make a difference. I darken up. We darken it up a little bit. There we go. Let's get a nice happy medium. There's a nice happy medium right there. So we have And as I press that, you saw how that went red like that. The green will do that, but if we want to switch over here, so that means that now camera 3 is ready to go. And of course, if we hit that, we're switching back and forth between camera 1, the main camera, and camera 3, or scene 3. These are not right now they're cameras. We can hit the cut button, and as you can see, that flips back and forth. We can hit the auto button, and it'll do some sort of auto, you know, like a little transition, like a little wipe or something like that through there. And right now we have, we'll turn the HDMI audio. I don't know if this is on or off. It's got a peach color to it, or salmon, looks salmon color to it. And the program button is also salmon. Mute, we can press that. As you can see, that turns to salmon. HDMI 1, HDMI 2, mic, and left, right. Oh, okay. So this is in the back. I showed you the mic plug. That's this one. And then this one is if you're coming from a mixer using the RCA jacks. You can hit the go live. As you can see, that's flashing. We can hit the pause button, but we're not going live, so that's not going to do anything. And of course, Src Program, that is what is, I believe, sending it out to an external computer or a scene that we have there. So, all right, let's do this. And I'm going to try it like this. I'm going to be very careful not to unplug this. This is hooked up to my Nexium dock, and we're going to try to use the dock into play here. Not Nucleum dock, excuse me. This is also a Kingston product, so a multi-dock. And of course we got the HDMI out, and we've got the USB and everything like that. So keep in mind, iPads, if you're using the iPad Pro, you need a Lightning USB-C camera adapter. This one's using the USB-C adapter, but some iPads, older iPads, might not work. And these are iPads that cannot get up, I believe it's iOS 11, but I'm not 100% on that. So hold on a second. I had to get a drink. All right. So this is the app right here, and we're seeing it right here. And then of course it's not connected just yet to the ATEN, but that's what we're going to do right now. So we've got the plug right here. And let's see, how can I plug that in? I can plug that in through USB-C. So, and didn't I? Yeah, I did get a cable for that. USB A to A, and then C to A. There's the C to A. Let's see how this works first of all. And normally using a dock in between the iPad and the switcher is not always a great idea. But we're going to give it a try. We're going to see how this works ultimately. And if it works, that's going to be great, because then I'll be able to find a way to add more to this. So, but if it doesn't work, hey, no big deal. Ain't no thing. So we'll plug this in here, and we'll plug this in here. And it says down in the bottom corner, it says disconnected with UC9020. So we plugged it in, and it does not see that. That's too bad. But that, you know, I kind of expected that. So let's go ahead and unplug it here. So we're going to lose the video. Before we do that, let's take a look at this really quick. So you can download this app and take a look at it. So as you can see, we've got different scenes set up. And let's see how this all works. It's all movable, so you can kind of play with it, but I have a feeling we need to hook something up before we can make this all work here. So we got the video side, we got the audio side, and then of course the settings, which once we get this all connected, it'll probably set that up. As you can see on the bottom left-hand corner, it says disconnected with the UC9020. So we'll go back to video here, and see how this works. I think I have to hit the button for this to show up. But everything else you can kind of move around, see how this all works. It says it's in demo mode. We can create something new, like a talk show, and we'll hit create and see what happens. Look at that. We've got new stuff to work with anything. We can copy as new. We can open a project. We can look at all our projects. We can look at a tutorial, how to switch scenes and things like that. And we'll skip that. And of course, self-diagnostic, because it says it's not connected. So let's go ahead, and now we're going to flip back here. And then we'll go ahead and unplug this here. And then we'll plug it here. So Doc didn't work. Doc, you didn't work. Doc Brown. Anyway, now let's see what happens. So we got this plugged in. There we go. Look at that. It now says we'd like to find and connect to your device on the network. So we'll say okay. Actually, I'm thinking about this. I'm wondering. It says that it's connected. And it says press start to upload your project to the device. So we're going to hit start. And it says syncing data. Now it's using the Ethernet on here. So this unit right here is technically a dock in itself, because it's got the Ethernet on there, and it's definitely going to be doing pass-through between here and here. So it is syncing data. I'm not sure how long that's going to take. Since that didn't work, we'll just take the Nucleum and we'll set this off to the side. And then we're going to hook this into the back here. There we go. Hook this into the back, into the spot. Oh, is this going to fit? There we go. Right there. And now we're getting lots of cord crossover. Sorry about that. All right. We'll zoom out a little bit so you can see what's going on. Try and push this over as best as possible. So there we go. We now have the iPad set up. And we'll just zoom in and see so you can see what that is. It's showing the headline, today's topic. And as you can see now, I can switch things around. So, excuse me. By the way, whoever did some clicking there, thank you very much. And if you have any questions, feel free to ask. All right. So now we have this all set up. So you have your preview area, that's the green, and then the red area, that is the live. So everything will be in preview until you hit the auto button. And then notice up here, it switched back and forth. We don't have any cameras set up just yet. And I have a couple cameras that I'll set up here in a second here. So as you can see, works fairly well. So I'm pretty excited about that. Nice, easy audio. We'll be able to change any of these. As you can see down here, we have a little settings button. So this talk show, today's topic, we'll just hit this button right here. And that'll take us to the actual scene. Inside the actual scene, we can do any adjustments to the topic information. So if I want to change the name to today's topic, not sure how to do that. It says overlay. Oh, okay, I see what's going on here. So here is where I hit the edit button. There we go. And then we can say ATEN Unbox. We'll hit done. And we'll say OK. And now the button says ATEN Unbox. How cool is that? We'll zoom in so you can see that a little bit better. I'm not sure what we can change on talk show. Maybe this is fully editable. Nope, we'll need a photo or something like that. So you're seeing a lot of my photos. So let's just take this photo right here of the last thing I did, the Mackie SRM 212, and we can put that up there. Or we could change that up. We can make it visible, non-visible. We could re-edit it, and could have a nice picture of my cat Scotty. There we go. There we go, and place that right there. We can, as you can see, easy to move around. This is where I would take my pencil out, and then I'd probably work it this way once I turn it on. There we go. So then I can resize that. And I can take this and I can move this over here. And I can take this, there we go, and move it over here. Over here. And then make Scotty bigger. As you can see, it's fairly easy on setting up a scene. So, and then of course, if we want to add anything, there is a way to add something, I believe. This is I think this is a background of some sort. So, oh, we would do that. Let's see. Can we only add 4 items? Looks like we can only add 4 items. So let's just trash this one. Yeah, we want to trash this overlay. So now this is a blank screen. And is there a way to add an overlay? I'm not seeing a way to do that. We can hide it, we can trash it, and we can edit it. But how do we add it? On the bottom here, I'm seeing the server 1 and server 2, and saying because there's nothing going on. So let's see. Yeah, we don't want to go there. I'm not sure how to add another part to this. Because that's edit. And that is going to go to the sidebar. Okay, we don't have the HDMI. So you can bring in HDMI 1 or HDMI 2, dual view, or background. But there's got to be a way to add something. If I delete stuff, I should be able to add it. I'm just not seeing where that would be. I don't see a plus button. I can change the background color to a picture or a color. So let's do that. Let's get a nice dark green in here. And that's there. There we go. But I am not seeing, there's got to be a, oh, it's up here. There we go. So now I can add text. I can say, hello. When I don't have the pen. Keyboard's not popping up for some reason. That's interesting. Let's just say, let's just do a picture. I get to see some of the food that I grilled. I'll be able to resize that. Right there. Let's add another picture. I think I have a nice picture of me in those glasses that I looked at. So it looks like we can add more stuff. Awesome. And I'm a little concerned about that text because I think what's happening is it's thinking that when I hit text, it's thinking I have a keyboard on this thing through this device. So I can't bring up the keyboard, which I need to do. Oh, turn that off. That's right. Let's see if I can bring this keyboard up. Yeah, I'm not exactly sure how to type in here. There we go. Now it's working. So we'll go. La 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 la. Let's go. The wrong keyboard on. Let's do that. There we go. At Geekazine. And we'll say done. We can change the size. We can change if it's bold or not. We can change the color. And I think we will change it to a nice yellow. There we go. Nice yellow right there. And then the background of that, we can put a background border on that. And of course, we can round that or square that out. And then you can't really see the color right now because it's white. So we'll go like there. Make it easy. So now you're seeing that up there. We can outline and color that. And I think that's all the setting. Okay, there we go. So we hit OK. And as you can see, there it is right there. I'll resize it and we'll bring it over here. And look at that. We've created a scene right there. We'll hit apply. And then that default talk show one is going to be changed forever. Changed forever on mine. So I bet you if I reset everything, I'll be able to get that original one right there. So now this is in the preview. So to bring it into live, we'll just hit the auto button. Auto. And there it is right there. I believe if I hit there and we hit here, I thought we might actually see that, but we're seeing a blank screen. And program audio here. And of course, we're not hearing the audio from there. So no, well, we'll still figure this all out. So we have this, so we can switch between the different things through the iPad. Easy peasy, beautiful cover girl, and go from there. So, all right, audio. Let's go over to the audio. So right now it's saying that the program audio is on. So if I press the program button, you notice how I thought it popped in and out. On. There we go. So I unmuted it. I remuted it. I can also do it from here. So I just turned it off and I turned it on. I can turn on my headphones so I can hear what's going on. Turn it off. Turn off the mic, turn off the line in. If we do HDMI, we can turn on the audio. That's the AFV button that I was talking about. So if that's the salmon color, we'll go over here so you can see it. If it's the white color, then it is on. If it's salmon, then it's at AFV mode. So, and if we had the Pro version, there would be a if we had the Pro version, there would be a third one here that we could use, the third HDMI that we could bring in. So HDMI 2 is actually 2 and 3, which is interesting. So, all right, with that said, with that done, we've got this all set up, ready to go. We need to go over to the settings. Now this is the key for setting up to go live. So let's zoom out a little bit so you can see this whole screen right here. Check to see if this works. There we go. Now I got the chat. All right. So up on stream here we can do a custom RTMP. We can go to YouTube, we can go to Facebook. And when you do that, it'll go needs to use your Facebook login. I'm going to flip over here just in case it shows any usernames and passwords. It doesn't because I have Facebook on this iPad, so I can say continue as me, and then I can set it up. So do I want it to go, come back here. Do I want it to go to friends or do I want it to go public? It looks like it can only go, oh, there we go, public. There we go, and I'll hit OK. I might have to recharge this pen. And of course, you can check all the permissions. So we're going to hit continue here. So we'll be able to go on Facebook. It doesn't say a specific page. So I have a feeling that if I start this, then it'll go on my main profile. And since we're streaming to my main profile, that might cancel the other one. So we can also go to a second server. And we can do a custom RTMP, YouTube, and Facebook. No Twitter, no other services that I know of. I'm not exactly sure how we would bring that in. And then, of course, we have the external storage saying it's supporting USB 3.0 above. Use high-speed external storage for extended recording recommendations. That's where this comes in. I'm going to grab my cable. This one right here. And now that I know that it's USB-A to USB-C, I'll grab that cable and we'll go ahead and zoom out a little bit so you can see what's going on. So I'll take that's this one right here. We'll plug this in, and I believe that's where that USB-A plug was in the back. So I'll lift this up, ever slow, gently touching the bottom. Right now it's not too hot. It's actually fairly cool. So we'll plug that in, and now it should see the external storage. Yes, it does. Awesome. Awesome. And zoom in, because now it's saying, hey, I don't know what the format is on this thing. What should I do? What should I do? So we'll hit format, and yeah, blah, 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 blah. Storage, it says slow speed hard disks. Storage devices that are USB 2.0 or earlier are not supported. We'll say, okay. This is not USB 2.0, so I'm not exactly sure what that is. I did have to use a third-party cable, so maybe that's the problem right there. But we'll give it a try again. So say USB storage. Turn it off. Turn it back on. And let's see, it can record. It can do multiple recording. So you can say I want to record for 10 minutes, up to 4 hours, or 10 hours, excuse me. Wow. We'll hit the format. Okay. We'll say okay. And it still says slow speed hard disk. That's interesting. Let's do this. Let's unplug this one. I got a different disk over here. Where'd that go? Thought I left it there, but apparently I did not. So it's got to be over here. This one I cannot format, so I'll plug this in just to make sure. Kicks and giggles. Furry little animals. USB storage. It says unknown format for recording. No, I don't think. Let me think here. Let's switch over to a smaller disk here. I'm not exactly sure why that's not working. This is, maybe the cord's not USB, the right USB 3. Let's just do a thumb drive. This thumb drive I should be able to erase without a problem. We'll plug that in. We'll see what happens there. Unknown format. We'll hit format. All right. There we go. There we go. So I put in a little thumb drive. I think this is a 128 gigabyte hard drive. That's a dual drive, so I can use USB-C or USB-A. Take that cable and put it over here. Still formatting. Hopefully that's not causing a problem. If it's not, we're going to continue on. And whoever clicked on that, thank you very much for taking a look. So I also have, we have the regular HD, which is what we're seeing here, but the Pro is also there. So that's what I put down in the carousel. And then you can check out all the other cool stuff in the carousel down there. But these are the two. The Pro, like I said, has one extra HDMI input. But other than that, they should be exactly the same. Exactly the same. So this thing proceeding, but it's taking an awfully long time to format this thing. I'd like to find out what their format is. Okay, it's formatted. Good, good, good. So now We've got the USB storage. We should be able to record to that. So next up, let's go ahead and hook up a camera. I got right here the Mocos, which I should have in the carousel down there. I like to use this camera because it's not a standard HDMI USB camera, and I've used this on a couple other switchers and it hasn't worked. This can go up to 4K. It can also do 1080p. So we are going to definitely connect it up to the 4K input, the main input, because the idea is to be very portable. Now, I also have a secondary camera set up, and that's my PTZ camera. I can actually run it simultaneous through this system, so you can see it right here, and through this system. So let's take this cable. We'll drape it over. We'll plug it in HDMI here. There we go. And then we put it in the input on the player. Like I said, there was an input and a loop out, so I could actually send it to a monitor so I could see how the video looks. All right, with that said and done, let's go back over to video. Oops, we definitely want to save the settings. So where's the apply? Go back over here. Now I got two switchers to worry about. Looks like we got an IP address for our network. So when it's running DHCP, you could definitely set up a static IP address. Let's see, we can do audio delay if we want. So we got a delay system, but it's a delay system for the overall. So you can't match cameras, audio, video. It's all or nothing type thing, but it's better than nothing. We can go PAL or NTSC. So if you want to go 30 frames a second or 25 frames a second, it's that's the Western versus U.S. versus Japanese. Yeah, I can say that. U.S. versus Japan setting right there. Let's see. We've got streaming quality, which is set to normal right now, but we can bump up the quality or bump it down just in case. Streaming resolution, we can go up to 1080p, 30 frames a second, but we'll do 720/30. That way, we're not gonna hit any. We'll turn that up. Okay. We're not going to hit any walls or anything like that. So we're going to turn that on. No, I don't think we're going to stream because it might kill one of my other streams. Actually, yeah, I don't care. If it kills, then you have other ways to watch it. So now we hit apply. Everything's applied. Now we can go back to the video. There we go. And look at that. There I am. I'm upside down though, which is interesting. I'm not sure. I think maybe I have to adjust that on the camera. I don't want to. Let me think here, because I might have used this camera upside down for some reason. Let's see if I can fix that. And we're not seeing the full frame. So let's see. Oh yeah, it is. Oh, it's upside down. That's why it looks upside down. The camera. It's funny because the camera has mounts on both the bottom and the top. I thought I had it right side up, but I guess I had it upside down. Let's go ahead and flip this around. I'm trying to do this without messing with the cables too much. There we go. Tighten this up. Turn this around. There we go. That can't see me, but you know, I'm too high for this. So there I am. And back up a little bit. Might have to put a little bit of height on the camera, but as you can see, there I am. I can see, and right now the program shows the ATEN Unbox, whereas I'm right here. Now, I can hit the Go Live button, Src Program. There we go. Look at that. Now, you might not hear audio because I don't think I'm pushing any audio through here. I'm going to turn all the audio off so we don't get any echoes or anything like that. And now, there we are. That is the program view, the first scene that I had from there. And then we're going to flip it over. It was a little bit slow to go over, but it doesn't look too bad. I'm looking at the iPad and it's kind of jittery, but then I look at the screen right there and there's an ever slight delay because I'm going from a streaming device to a streaming device. So, and of course down here we have the headline news. So that's in scene 2. Let's go over to scene 3, which looks like it is zoomed in. I'll show you. Scene 3 is zoomed in on me, so I should be able to edit this. So let's see. Edit this through the settings here. Helps if I turn this pen on. There we go. So I have the video. I'm not sure. Oh, there it is. Okay. Yeah, for some reason it's showing it this way. Let's try this. Oh, that's the split screen. So that looks good because we can do HDMI 1 and HDMI 2. Let's take the video from my PTZ camera and bring that in. And I'm touching the bottom and I'm not feeling a lot of heat coming from this. And that's on the power supply side. The right side, a little bit warmer, but not too bad. All right. So now I've got that in. I should be seeing oh, okay. There's a nice little switch button if I want to switch the cameras. Okay. And may not be able to preview due to limitations. Sometimes could not preview HDMI 2A and 2B at the same time. Interesting. So if we have this, let's hit apply. And then we'll go to, which one did I just edit? There it is right there. And we're going to go in here. So here I am. And now I'm going to go auto. And it is showing, it is not showing the PTZ camera. I had it plugged in, right? Yeah, I have it plugged in. Maybe I have a setting on the PTZ camera that's not working the way I expected it to. What else can I do? I know what else I could do. Do I have it plugged in over there? Give me 1 second. Let me see something. I might have to grab another camera. No, I don't have that all plugged in, so I won't be able to use that. But because that's the case, I have this camera over here. Hello. I can use. Unplug that. Plug the power. My older Sony cameras. And set that right there. Yeah, I know, I'm kind of in the way. Looks like we still have battery, so I'm going to let that drop. And then I saw HDMI cable I can use right there. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to plug this into the other HDMI input, what says input B, into here. And then I'll plug this into my camera. Making sure I don't step over things. Or I have to step over them. I don't want to step on them. There we go. I'll raise this up a little bit so you don't see my legs. Kind of see the camera right there. Let's do that. There, it's kind of out of shot now. And then we'll turn it a little bit so it looks like a halfway decent shot. There we go. Zoom in a little bit. Come back here. All right. Okay. See if there's any questions before we go. A lot of people clicking. Thank you very much. Appreciate that. So, all right, let's get back over here. And we will edit this scene. Maybe I don't know if we'll be able to edit the scene since it's on program. We'll find that out right now. So, I think that's what, yeah, that's what we got up right now. So, with this split screen, still says may not be able to preview, but okay, there I go. There's the other camera. So for some reason, it's not seeing the PTZ camera, and I think I know why. I didn't plug it in. I mean, it is plugged in, but the HDMI is not plugged in. No, it is not plugged in. All right, so where'd that HDMI cable go? There it is. That's why it didn't work. Let's see if we can make it stop working. Please don't make it stop working. It's always a concern when you plug something in while it's working, while it's running for something else. There we go. Now, sorry for the shake of the camera. Now, we've got all three cameras working, including this one. And then we can go back to A. We'll say got it. We'll see what. Oh, there we go. Look at that. Sweet. And we'll hit apply. And now, if I do this, you're going to see me on one side, and then over here is the PTZ camera. Granted, you're not going to see it that well. But if we do this, we do this, and we go auto, it's going to switch over. There's the PTZ camera right there, and then I'm in the lower third down below. If we do this and cut, that is this camera, and then down below is the PTZ. And we do this and cut. Now we have a scene with the PTZ and me. So, quick question from Khaled goes, is there a way to switch between a PC and your laptop when connected to the same monitor without switching? So you want to switch I would guess if you got an A-B switch for the HDMI, then you could have them both go into one HDMI. But technically, that's what this is doing. So you have three connections, 3 inputs, but 2 of those inputs are being shared by the same HDMI. It's technically a switcher inside there. So in order for me to actually show camera 2 and 3, I think I'll have to do something. Let's see what we got. Let's take this scene. Let's edit this scene. And it doesn't look like I can take HDMI 2 and show both cameras. But I might be wrong because I'm not exactly sure how to do that. So I'll go back over here so you can see what's going on. And it says may not be able to show preview. We'll say got it. Now during this time, just so you know, the iPad is not charging. So this doesn't do dual roll. And maybe, I know the Nucleum didn't work, but maybe I can get a small dock that just basically plugs one into power, one into the unit to get it to work. But all right, so it's not letting me see the cameras here. So there's the PTZ, the other camera. Of course, that is not showing up. Maybe it got unplugged by accident. Nope, it's still seated. Okay. So we'll hit apply on that. And yeah, it's showing, it's not showing that second one. I'm not exactly sure why that is. But if I go over to this scene, I'm seeing the PTZ and the primary camera. Let's go back over here and let's go ahead and edit this again. So there's HDMI 1. We'll go down here to the secondary one. There we go. That one is the, okay, that's the PTZ. Now we'll go over here and we got a gray screen. I'm not sure why it's doing a gray screen just yet. So let's unplug it and plug it back in and see what happens. See it. No, let's do this. Kicks and giggles, furry little animals. We're going to switch the PTZ and the secondary camera over to see how that works. So now I switched it over. And there, now I have that camera. But the PTZ is grayed out. The only thing that I can think of is that since this shares an HDMI, both cameras might need to be the exact same resolution, the exact same frame rate. And I know that this is, it's an interlaced, it's 1080p at 59 something. And then the PTZ, I think I have that set at 1080p 60. That is a pure guess. And we can try this. Let me take out the main HDMI and we'll take out the PTZ. Now the PTZ will be the primary through HDMI 1. And then this MOCOS will be in one of the shared ports. Which probably completely confused everything. So HDMI 1, we're seeing the PTZ camera, awesome. HDMI 2, keep turning the pencil off. HDMI 2, we got a gray screen again. So this camera works. This camera does not. All right, but I have a feeling that if I had two cameras the exact same kind with the exact same resolution set up to it, that they'd be flipping back and forth without a problem. So that might be something that you need to be concerned of if you decide, if you're using more than two. A lot of people, they only use two. Or maybe a screen or something like that. So I could probably plug in a laptop and do a screen. I don't know if I have anything close by to really do that. I have phones, which I can... Do I have my lightning adapter? No, I don't have the lightning adapter close by. Oh, I have to think about this. So bottom line is that might be a small little downfall, is the ability if in your HDMI, and I'll double check with them, but if you're running that part, it has to be on, the cameras have to be probably to the exact same resolution and frame rate. Otherwise, If you're just doing two cameras, maybe a camera and maybe a desktop screen or something like that, maybe you'll be fine there. We'll see. We'll do some further exploration, and I'll get back to you on that. So, but for the most part, we'll just hit cancel there. For the most part, we've got scenes going. We can get this going. One thing I noticed is there is a little bit of a lag if you're using the iPad to switch through. But now that I got my scenes, I can come over to here, to the ATEM, and I can get one ready for preview. And this one's live right now. So if we go here, you're going to see the ATEN Unbox. And if I go down the slider, there we've got the PTZ camera. And then scene three, which is ready to go. And I'm going to hit auto from there. And now we've got this split screen with this camera right here. And then, of course, the PTZ camera behind me. And then let's see. We got up to 8 scenes. So we'll hit scene number 8. And then we'll hit instant cut. And that'll take it there. I like how the buttons work over the iPad, because there's when you do the iPad, you get a little wheel there for a second. But as I'm looking here, I'll show you. As I'm switching between things and hit the auto button, it does the. Oh, you're not seeing that. Sorry. Let's do this. So you're seeing the switches. If I hit the buttons, you're seeing the switches a lot easier, a lot faster. But if I did it this way, we get this little proceeding whirligig thing. And this is, once again, this is the latest iPad Pro. So it's better to actually use the button system than it is to use the iPad to switch back and forth, because there might be a little bit more of a delay to everything. So, all right, let's get to this one right here. And then I can even probably, yeah, that's a crossfade. I've got the fader halfway down. So there we go. And then all the way up. So I suppose maybe if I had this halfway, I could possibly get all 3 cameras to work, but I'm not sure. Can't say that. And I got a big graphic in my face. Hi, I'm talking over here. Now, one thing I haven't done yet is I haven't connected up anything like the let's go to this scene. I haven't connected up anything like the audio to it. We do have a hard drive attached to it. So from this, we should be able to hit a record button. And it's easier just to hit the record button up on top here on the iPad. And we got a whirligig going right now. There we go. Start streaming. Please wait. There we go. I think we're streaming, but I'm not sure if we're recording. So that's streaming. So let me just go over and see if I'm streaming. I won't be able to show you because of logistical reasons. Go. There I am. Yeah, it's live right now. With absolutely no sound. So, and of course I can switch it over. And I'm just seeing how it switches over on. Well, it's on Facebook. That's happening. And I don't have a share where you can see that, or a camera that I can point to it right now. Or maybe I do. So, but bottom line, it's working just fine. We got the. So let's see. We'll do that, and we'll go up like that. There we are. There's the stream right now. And then if I switch around, it's going to take a couple seconds because there's always a massive delay when it comes to switching around things. Cut out as much as possible. Oops. There we go. So now when this comes back, there's absolutely no audio once again coming through that. You can hear it because the audio is coming through here, but it's not coming through on the stream there. So there we are, and we're in split screen mode. And of course, one is going through there, the other one's going through there. So you get the idea. So we can bring this back to here, and we'll cut it back to there. So ultimately, it looks like setting up on the iPad, fairly easy. Make sure that you're at 100% charge. And the cool thing about the iPad Pro is the battery life on this thing is just crazy. So I should be able to do some sort of streaming for a long time. But I'll have to figure out how I can bring power into this thing. So if I do more than an hour's worth of streaming, I won't have to worry about what's going on with the battery. So running from the button, when you've got it all set up on the iPad, running through the buttons is probably the way to go. And I want to give this a try just to make everything I believe is stored on the iPad. So the second that this comes off here, I think that all of these scenes are done. And we're going to test that by unplugging the iPad. You ready? 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 Here we go. Here we go. And I might be wrong. So if I go here, and I do cut. Nope. None of the buttons. Right. Yeah, I'm on the right one. None of the buttons are working. It still says that we're live. So you definitely need to have. Oh. Well, that's interesting. So the video out. The HDMI I have plugged directly from here into here is not working. But I'm looking on the stream. The stream is still going, and it's seeing all the switches that I'm doing. So that is really interesting. Let's plug the iPad back in and see if that totally mucks up the system. Oops. Let's bring this back over here. Now it says, during the live period, you are not allowed to upload your project to the device. Reload project from the device. Okay, and resyncing, but I'm not exactly sure. Yeah, when I'm resyncing, that might just kill this stream right now. But we'll see what happens, because I'm still on my stream. It still says up here that it's streaming. So we'll do a switch, and we'll do a switch from the iPad to see what's happening. And now I go here. I know what I did. So when you hit the SRC program, of course you get to switch between preview, live, and then just the camera. In this case, this is what's in HDMI 3. This camera, the secondary camera, not the PTZ. So now I see the PTZ with all the lower thirds. Okay, so if I unplug this thing, I can still continue to have a stream. So if the power goes out on this, I can still use the box without the iPad or iPhone connected and be able to make the switch. I wouldn't be able to make any changes, like to a name on a lower third or anything like that. But if you got it all set, you can definitely use that from here to make that all happen. So, in all, it's not a bad setup. And I'm going to test the latency, because right now I'm using the audio that's going into my main switcher, but I want to see if there's a latency coming from here. Because what you can then do, if there's little to no latency from my lips to this thing, what I can do is I could actually set 3 cameras up on this thing, send it to my main switcher, and then run cameras this way, and then run extra stuff this way. So it's a switcher within attached to a switcher. And that could be fairly sweet if I could do that. So I don't know. What do you guys think? Is this working for you? Because it looks like we've got it going pretty good. So I'm going to hit the stop stream on the other one, and because we're done there. And of course, it did record, so I'll have to check that a little bit later. But ultimately, I'm fairly impressed with what this thing can do for the little amount that it has, the size that it has. Of course, the only problem really is that you need an iPad. There is no Android version. You can't hook it up to a PC. I would love to have this hook up to like my Nook over here. Over here is my little Intel Nook on the table, right there, and I got a touch screen on that. I'd love to be able to hook that up to there and run this control panel from here, because then I think I could do more. I don't know if they'll plan on this. This device has been out for a little while now, so I would guess that maybe there's a way that we can do that. But right now, the app is only for iOS devices. So run up to 3 cameras. The Pro version lets you run 4 cameras, and I'm not exactly sure how that works. And my guess is kind of similar. The first one's going to be the high-end 4K, and then the other ones will be shared. And then if that's the case, you might have to run the same camera on, or the same cameras with the exact same resolution and frame rate. And keep in mind, different cameras have different protocols to them. So one might be running at 1080p, 1080p 59.97. The other one might be running at 1080p 59.94 or 57.94, or just a frame that causes a frame issue between the 2 cameras. It's purely a guess, but from the other switchers that I've ever had and ever owned, I've run into that. So I'm guessing that's what's happening here. So, but ultimately, it looks pretty decent. Fairly easy to set up, fairly easy to run. You do 2 cameras. We didn't hook up a computer to it, but that'll be another test that I do. So be able to do a picture-in-picture. If you're doing any type of presentation, picture-in-picture on that. If you do a one-on-one conversation, how I would do this is the main first HDMI would be set up as an overall shot between the 2 speakers, and then the 2 side shots would be pointing at each individual speaker. And then I'd set up scenes with each individual, could bring in the lower thirds. You saw all the lower third action there. That was in here. So whoever this guy is down here, we could change that too. We can move the lower third over here, or move it right here. We can do different graphics, of course, and of course switch that out. And that's all done through the iPad. And Jimmy Lynn, who's right here. Jimmy's right here. So, so we could have our own talk show. And it says talk show at 2100 hours. And then you could also run this. Let's see, let's do this. No, let's do this. You could also run and send out the audio in different ways. So you could be doing audio and video at the same time. That might be pretty easy to do. But ultimately, I think this is we've got a very positive thing. Well, there's some downfalls to it. And the other thing is, I'm touching the bottom of this thing. I'm gonna go get the heat gun in about a second. Let me go get the heat gun right now. I'm gonna just kind of clock the bottom temperature on this. But I could see myself taking this to an event for easy setup, like a 2-camera shoot or something like that, maybe a 3-camera, one-on-one interviews, and see how this works. Let's go ahead and check out the heat on this thing. So hit the bottom. says 102.7. We're still within operating temperature. I don't know if you can see that or not. I want you to make sure that you see that 102.7. So, and from what it said, the specs, it could get up to 110. Anything over 110, it'll start to affect your skin. And of course, we're just touching it for a couple seconds. No prolonged exposure on it. Now, I think the front had a vent on it. I don't feel or hear a fan. I do not hear a fan inside here. So maybe it's just a straight up heatsink. And if that's the case, if you're in a warmer climate, you might want to think about having like a laptop fan type thing, kind of blowing the heat away that's coming off of that heatsink to get it out of the air, or just raise this up a little bit. I mean, it's off the table. I'd say it's about, well, it's a finger off the table. I can put my fingers underneath it, that's for sure. But if you raise it up a little bit more, maybe a couple 1x1s, and bring it up a little bit, you definitely have ventilation. Put a little fan on there to blow the air that way, or vice versa, like a little computer fan or something like that, and it'll blow the air out of the system, and you should be good to go. If you need to. I don't think I'll need to on here. So ultimately, this seems to be a pretty decent system right here. Setting up on the table, we got the unit right here. We got the iPad that we're hooked to, or iPhone, and we're good to go. So what do you guys think? Data goes thumbs up. Awesome. Good job, Data. So I do like to thank everybody that commented and said hi. I appreciate that. Of course, the follow button over on Amazon.com/shop/Geekazine. So you know when I'm doing live streams. Of course, I do live streams across the board, and we added a new live stream to the whole mix. So it's crazy how many cool live streams I can do. And I'd like to thank my friends over at Restream for that. And yeah, you can definitely check them out as well. But yeah, that's pretty much it for today. Thank you guys very much. We've got everything over at the socials. Think Magazine, Put in a Geek. You got me. We're rocking, we're rolling. And we're going to do more on Mondays at 7:30 in the morning Eastern time. We do the tech deals. And then on Wednesday is the popular tech. And then on Tuesday, I connect up with Chris Giles. And we do a one-on-one conversation, talk a little news, talk a little products, stuff that we were working on, unboxing and everything like that. And just having some fun here on the stream. So Kenny gives me a 3 thumbs up. I only have 2. Should be a third one. I need maybe a toe. No, you don't want to see my feet. Anyway, thanks a lot for watching. Thanks a lot for listening. You guys geek out. Take care. And if you have any questions, let me know. So you've been watching Geek Tech Talk Live. We were looking at the ATEN StreamLIve HD, the 9020. Remember, really quick, we'll come back for a second. Remember, there's a 9020 and a 9040. This is the HD, and then they have the Pro, which has one more HDMI in port if you need it. So now that I got this, I have the ATEM Mini. I got the YOLO box, and I've got a regular ATEM. Maybe we'll do a comparison between the devices and see what happens. We'll see. So, all right. Once again, you guys geek out. Take care. You've been watching Geek Tech Talk Live. I'm Jeffrey Powers. I'm ready to take a nap. See ya.